On the panel, we had Irina from Bulgaria and Maria from Bulgaria, who were speaking about campaigns that they have undertaken dealing with wind energy in wind turbines in Irina's case and hydro plants in Maria's case. Wind turbines cause a lot of problems for birds and for different types of birds. Hydropower plants, even small hydropower plants, can cause a lot of environmental impacts, environmental damages. And each of them were speaking about their experiences in Bulgaria as environmental advocates dealing with strong projects and strong campaigns by the Bulgarian government to build wind energy plants and to build hydro plants. And one of the things that we focused on is that wind energy is green energy, and hydro is in certain ways green energy because they don't contribute to global warming. And when we as environmentalists speak out against a wind energy plant or a hydro plant, people say, oh, nothing is ever good enough for you environmentalists. You're always, fighting everything. So one of the things that we focused on is that and I think that Irina's project with BirdLife in Bulgaria has done an amazing job of this, which is you don't just say no to every wind turbine, because in fact it is green energy. What they did was they worked very hard to create a map of Bulgaria showing where there is capacity for wind plants, where in those places where there's capacity for wind plants there is high environmental risk of damaging bird populations, and what that leaves is a third category of space in Bulgaria, which are good for wind plants and which will not do a lot of environmental damage. And that kind of planning and recognizing that, yes, we need to build wind plants in Bulgaria, but let's not build them where they're going to kill large numbers of birds. And let's also keep in mind energy efficiency and do this not because money is available to build wind energy plants, not because the EU gives subsidies to build wind energy plants, but because it's actually needed for the country's energy supply. So planning like that is maybe boring, but in fact is the most important part of a successful campaign like this. And I think that here in Georgia, we can learn a lot from that experience, because I think in Georgia there's a tendency to try to build hydro plants everywhere. Every little river, every big river where a hydro plant can be put, a small one or a big one, is on the Ministry of Energy's lists as hydro sites, and that's not the way it should be done. There needs to be a national study of where is there the capacity and the locations for hydro. Among those places, where is the lowest environmental impact? Where will you get the highest yield of electricity? And it may be that in order to meet this country's energy supply, in order to export some electricity, which is good for Georgia's balance of payments and economy, they may need to build some hydro plants that will have negative environmental impacts. But if it's planned, there'll be far fewer of those plants than there would be if it's done in this chaotic way that it's done right now. So that's kind of what we focused on in the discussion on our panel. As far as this program overall, I think it's amazing exactly for what we saw today, which is that we have this program is bringing together people from Bulgaria, from Georgia, and Turkey, and people have absolutely common experiences and problems. These three countries are near each other, their environments are similar, and there are many similarities between the societies of the three countries. And we can learn from each other. We can learn, advocates, and especially these young advocates, can learn from the experience. Georgians can learn from people in Bulgaria can learn from Georgians. I think it's very valuable. And the email addresses and the social media contacts, so that when somebody in Georgia is doing a campaign against wind turbines that are going to damage birds, they can contact the people in Bulgaria and say, now, how did you do that map, and can you consult with us? And we want to do a map like that which shows where the wind capacity is and where the environmental risks are high, and propose it to the government as a constructive solution for where you can build wind turbines or where you can build hydro plants that will do the least amount of environmental damage. That's it.